Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builder Supply. This video is to bring you a closer look at the Rockwood number 485. This is a 485 door stop and holder in a 612 finish, and we're going to discover what that means. I want to show it to you what it looks like in the package before I remove it. Rockwood does a really good job at isolating all of the parts from each other so that nothing scratches anything else. Not every manufacturer does that. Rockwood does. They do a very good job at it. So the 485 is what we call a door stop and holder. If someone comes in and says, I need a gooseneck door stop or a door stop and holder, this is what they're talking about. I first knew customers, not to say old timers, but old timers would come in and say, I need a gooseneck. And this is what they mean. It is a heavy duty, somewhat attractive design that looks a bit more pleasing than the more utilitarian, solid-shaped model. A little bit more detail to this, curved surfaces and whatnot. This would be certainly considered heavy-duty. There's no question about that. This is a 485, and that means that it's a doorstop, but it's also a holder. So while it will do an exceptional job at holding your doors open, it would not be permissible to use on a fire-rated door. Fire-rated doors cannot be manually held open. It cannot be manually held open with some sort of automatic means of closing. Okay, so here's what the 485 looks like. This is a 461 bumper that's here. This is completely replaceable, and this 461 is used across other parts in their product line, other stops, plunger-style push-down door stops. They're 459. Kick-down door holders. You'll find this available in both gray and black. I might like to have seen that in black when it comes to bronze, or certainly oil-rubbed bronze. Screw is going to hold that in. There you go. Your plate for attaching to the door is here. Okay? You get the idea of how that's going to work. When you're just in the stop situation, it's going to operate like this. You want it to hold open? Great. Flip that up. Put it over the horn or the elbow of the stop itself. And you're going to be held open. What I'd like to do is put a tape measure on that and just give you an idea from the face of the stop to what the face of the door would be. Let's look at... I was hoping there would be a technical drawing. I guess we really don't need to do it this way. You know, the thickness of that portion is about 0.358 inch. 0.358. That's going to be in the held open position. You can kind of see that you're going to add maybe another 3/16 there, something in that range. So I'd say you're going to need every bit of a half of an inch for this to be able to, from the face of the door to where the door, from the face of the stop to where the door would reside, to get a good hold open. So you're going to get your degree of hold open, maybe lay it all out, give yourself a half of an inch margin over, because it will relax a little bit. Now, the 485 is available in different finishes. This happens to be a 612 finish, or a US 10. They call it 612. That means that it's made of bronze, and that it is in a, it means three things. It's made of bronze, it's in a satin bronze finish, and that it has a lacquer on it. That's a clear lacquer that's over this as well. Okay, very nice, classic sort of finish. It's been around forever. Obviously goes in and out of, you know, fashion, so to speak. The mid-century saw a lot of satin bronze. Obviously, the 70s would have been bronze friendly, things of that nature. Let's take some dimensional properties. There is a link to the product brochure below this. It doesn't give us any real solid dimensional properties to take a look at in terms of a drawing. They say it's 2 5/8. They say it's 3 inch tall, and I'm holding it upside down just because it's easier to measure. 3 inches the overall height. Okay, they've got the base at 1 5/8. maybe a little shy on that, to 2 5/8. A little shy on that as well. You can get the idea that if you had a standard undercut of 3/4 inch, you'd have no problem with this. Even if your undercut was 1 inch or 1.25 inches, you'd have no problem with this at all. Oftentimes where you're going to see this material is going to be installed, and why you have a taller neck is you'll see them installed where you have excessive undercuts, something that's just clearly not correct. Or more commonly, if you had a regular doorstop installed, a regular kick-down door holder, let's say, you are the local package handling franchise on Main Street in your town, and that's where you take your boxes and they pack them up and they ship them out, and etc. Well, you can have a doorstop on that door, but the rear door, when the carrier comes, when the carrier company comes to collect the packages every day, that door opens, and you want to open it even further to hold it open in that sort of scenario. You'll have a 3/4 inch gap at the bottom of the door, but when you open that door or doors, the distance from the door at 90 degrees to the floor is probably, hopefully, going to be more distance than when the door is closed, because you want that pavement to slope away from your doors, so that when it rains, water isn't coming into the threshold. So you'll need something taller to account for the fact, yeah, you've got a regular undercut, but when you hold open, you might that might be a dimension that is significantly different. But the height of it doesn't really so much matter in the sense of interior doors that are not fire rated. You want to simply hold them open. Here's a great option for doing that. Okay. Available in being made of bronze or brass. This actually might be made of brass. Yeah, it's solid cast brass. They're going to be able to do it in all of the common finishes: your brasses, your bronze, your chromes. Satin, polished, oil rubbed. They can powder coat these. Powder coat black is very common nowadays. I believe that they can do white. I've not sold one of these in white. I can't think of any other finishes that they can do it in a powder coat. Black, certainly. All your architectural finishes. The width of the plate is what I'm trying to give you. About 1 inch, maybe just shy. Overall height, about 2 inches. Now, with this, you're going to get a screw package. You're going to get... This model is intended to be installed into a concrete floor. No real way around that. Now, you could get around it. If you had a wood floor, you could buy a hanger bolt, which is half machine thread, half wood thread. And if you're going to put this into a wood floor, they don't have a method to help you with that. You're going to need a hanger bolt. This looks like it's 5/16, but the fact of the matter is you're going to need to run a hanger bolt into the bottom of this with the wood thread, and then you'll end up turning it around, but before, turning it clockwise. But before you do that, you're going to drill and mark both of your holes. This other hole out here is going to have a screw with a complementary colored head with a plastic anchor should you need it. If it's going into concrete, you'll certainly use the threaded rod and that lead anchor. Lead anchors are incredibly capable of keeping a doorstop installed firmly down to the ground without any failure. The OD of this anchor is 0.625, so it's 5/8. You're going to want to drill a 5/8 hole for this. And you'll set that down. That short area will be towards the bottom of your installation. They do make setting tools. When you buy lead anchors from a fastener supplier, you buy a whole box. There's usually a setting tool, and you just need a way to be able to tap that down into the hole. So be mindful of that. That setting tool would rest around the perimeter of this. They have a little tip that'll go inside the hole. So you'll need some method of getting it firmly put down without artificially driving the cone portion up into the shell. And being made of lead, it's soft, so the two pieces drive against each other. But you got to make sure that this hole is ready to go first so that you can get it rotated into position and then just simply run your screw through there into your probably plastic anchor. And all that other screw does is just simply keep it from rotating. Now, that link to the product brochure is going to allow you to see other the product brochure is a helpful document because you can review the variations on themes of doorstops and holders. The 485 is certainly a common style door holder. It's been made for decades and decades. I think the reason that it may be slightly less common is because, 612 finish, a hold open, interior, possibly fire rated. You're not going to see that combination. In the product brochure, the 480 and the 481 are common, as is the 480H. The 480, the 480H are common. We sell those routinely. The 482 is still a gooseneck, just the short version of it. Okay, I don't see that they have a short version of the 485. If you would like to see lots of options, there's a link below this video to the manufacturer's page where you can pull up not only all of the Rockwood products that we sell, but a link to the manufacturer's website, as well as a link to the full product catalog. The purpose of the full product catalog will let you see all things trim and auxiliary hardware from Rockwood, a company that I'm very partial to, and it's because excellent fit and finish. This finish looks exceptional. The 612 finish, they do a great job at not only in the manufacturing process of making it look like what it ought to look like, but all the way through to getting it in your hands. It looks like it's really well made when you get it. You can certainly tell it's solid brass. On that manufacturer's page is also a link to the architectural door pulls, the RM series pulls that they have. So if you're looking for quite elaborate, unique, custom-made, and one-off pulls, they exist in that catalog. Wood-wrapped, leather-wrapped, rubber-wrapped, all architectural base materials, brass, bronze, stainless, aluminum, etc. Any questions on the 485 and a 612 finish or any other Rockwood product, please feel free to reach out to us. And thank you.